Welcome back. I feel like I haven't been in front of the camera actually filming in a while because my last video was me getting my makeup done. Thank y'all for being so nice to Shani. I have already done my brows and primed my eyes, and it's come to my attention from the last video that a lot of y'all don't like how I do my brows and much preferred how Shani did them. And while she did a fabulous job, this is how I like my brows. So this is how they're going to stay. And I have come to the conclusion that my hair does not want to work for me. I just washed it and it never works. That Jesus, my mama, my daddy, and Chad think I'm beautiful. And that's all that matters. And that includes my brows. So I'm sorry if you don't like them. I'm glad you liked how Shani did them, but they are here to stay. So I have done my brows and I have primed my eyes. I am going to do an all drugstore video. This has been requested so much from y'all, and I got a really nice PR package from CoverGirl. I couldn't say that right. A couple of weeks ago, I've been playing with some of the stuff I had already played with. So a lot of this is CoverGirl. There's a couple of things that aren't because I just don't have anything from them. So I'm not going to call it a CoverGirl video. It's just an affordable drugstore. And I did not want to make it anything that you couldn't walk into like CVS or Ulta or Walgreens or Walmart and get. So, you know, Sydney Grace is fabulous. I love them. And I know how affordable they are, but I didn't want to do that because they aren't available in drugstore. Stay tuned though, because I will be doing a Sydney Grace video very soon. That has also been very requested. Let me shut up and let's get into the video. I'm going to start out with my face. I have already color corrected, which is indeed not drugstore. And it's my Jane Iredale color corrector, so I just did that off camera. Now, two things that were in the PR package from CoverGirl. One of them is the True Blend Matte Made Foundation. Now, I had received the PR package last year when this launched with all of the colors in them. And I used it in like a playing with new makeup video. And I actually really like this foundation, despite the fact that it is a matte finish. It still looks really good. Now, the new True Blend Base Business Series has a skin primer in it that is a hydrating, moisturizing primer. So this was also in the package. They also had a mattifying one. I don't need a mattifying one because I don't have oily skin. So I wanted to use this. Now, I did use this a couple days ago as my primer. It does have a heavy fragrance in it if you're sensitive to fragrances. And I topped it with this. Now, this is a fuller coverage foundation. So today, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the two. So I'm going to take a pump or so of the foundation. This is in the color M10. And then I'm going to put a little bit of this hydrating primer, which you will be able to see is thinner in consistency. So it's running down my hand. But I'm going to mix those two so I can get just a little bit of a thinner consistency of the foundation, but also because it's matte, add a little bit of hydration into it. So I'm just going to dot a little bit of this on. You really don't need a ton of this because, again, it is pretty good coverage. I found that CoverGirl was spot on with picking my color to include in the most recent package. M10 works really well for me. This is my IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe number 7 brush. I desperately wanted to use my BK Beauty brushes, but I have not done a review on them yet, so I decided to hold off today, and I'm hoping the next video that goes up will be a review on that because I've had a few of you ask for that. So I will definitely be putting them up, and I'm sad I can't use them in this video. So I actually really like how that works with the primer mixed in. Not a fan of the fragrance in the primer, but this, I mean, obviously this technique can work with any foundation and any primer. If you have something that's just a little bit more matte than you like per se for your face, then mix in a primer with it versus putting the primer down first, whether it be like an illuminating primer, a hydrating primer, or if you have like an illuminating foundation that maybe doesn't stay on as well because you have an oilier skin type, you know, that's a great time to add the mattifying primer into it. So I still see a tiny little bit of redness over here, but it's really not enough for me to care about, honestly. I'm going to build it up just a little bit. I just don't want that much product on my face lately. I've been really into the lighter weight. So obviously, when you combine the primer in, it also enables you to use way less product because I still have this much on my hand that I am now going to waste because I don't need any more. So that's something to keep in mind. I knew that. I don't know why I pumped so much out. So I actually really like this. And another thing about this is when I first got this package, I pumped a little bit of this onto my hand just to kind of see how the color would be swatched out. And then I went to wash it off and I had to use like a good amount of soap. Water was not, I mean, it was just like kind of beating up on it and washing right off. Now, it does say it's transfer resistant, but I don't see anywhere where it says it is waterproof. But man, it did not like the water I put on it, which is a great thing. And I did find that it just lasts forever on the skin. So liking that combination minus the fragrance in the primer. In that package, they sent me 3 colors of the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I had not tried this yet. It's very reminiscent of the packaging, at least, of the L'Oreal Infallible as far as like how long it is, how wide it is. The doe foot applicator is very similar. If you don't know, I'm a big fan of the L'Oreal Infallible. And this is it right here. This is the color M400 Warm Nude. So the reason that I chose this is because it is the darkest of the ones that they sent me. But also I like the fact that it has that peachy undertone to help correct any extra blueness and darkness that I have coming through. So just like with the L'Oreal, I find you don't need much of this at all. So just take a little bit under each eye. So 2 little lines like that. Start out with that. So there's really no need to have to like dip back in for more product. And then I'm going to take, I actually had to break out a beauty blender for my backup drawer because Cortland stole my e.l.f. sponge. Of course, I didn't realize it until she was in school. So luckily I had this. She always picks the good stuff. But I'm just going to blend that into the eye. It blends out really nicely. I have worn this probably 4 or 5 times since I got the package. And I will have to say I'm actually very impressed. I judged it a little bit before I used it, thinking, oh, I'm not going to like it. It's going to be too heavy. It's going to crease. It doesn't. Like, it really doesn't. It looks very flattering under my eyes. And I actually like this color. I think it works well for me. Again, that was M400 Warm Nude. And I don't know, I feel like I don't need any extra coverage. Like, I feel like it did a good job of giving me that little extra boost. Let's let all that sink in. Let's go to the eyes. I'm going to use one product that I've had, actually has shown up in one of my favorites before. I loved it so much. This is the CoverGirl True Naked Peach Punch Palette. It's a lot of P's. I actually got this as like a gift with purchase from Ulta. And I almost automatically gave it to Cortland when I got it, but then I was like, hold up. I love peaches. I love peach eyeshadows. And this looks really pretty. I have the golden nude one of this, like, what do they call it? True Naked palettes. And I liked it, so I don't know why I thought that. Anyways, I tried it. I loved it. It ended up in my favorites. I'm going to take this color right here. They are not named. And take it on a fluffy brush. I'm going to put this in the crease. If I'm going to say anything negative about this palette, I mean, and it's kind of a stretch, it's how skinny the pans are. When you're working with a big fluffy brush like this, sometimes you pick up a little bit of what's on either side of it, but I don't find it's enough to like actually alter the color I'm going for. It's just, if I were going to be super critical. You can see, I love that color. I had so many days when I first got this where I just used this color and put highlighter on my eyes, which I'm kind of going to do today. And that's all I did. I am going to go into this pretty matte color right here. And I'm going to use the Persona eyeshadow brush. Pick up a little bit of this. And I'm going to place it on my outer corner. Blend it up into the crease. And I don't really care how far on my lid it goes, honestly, because I really like this color. This brow bone is the bane of my existence. It's another reason why I can't wait to talk about the BK Beauty brushes, because one of the eye brushes is pretty magical when it comes to that. Now, another thing they sent me in the package were these new, I think they're new, CoverGirl, obviously, True Blend Super Stunner Hyper Glow Powders. I'm going to use one color that I got as a highlighter. I'm going to put this color on my eyes, and this is in the color Rose Quartz. Super pretty. These are really soft to the touch. So this one's going to be way too dark, obviously, for me to put on my face. And I just completely forgot that I wanted to use this as a base. This is the Revlon Photo Ready Eye Art in Peach Prism. Another favorite of mine that I've talked about a lot. I don't ever use this like super glittery side, but I love that peach base. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that. This is a product that you need a very small amount of. If you use too much, it will very quickly make your eyelids look wrinkly. But if you are looking for something that absolutely will not budge, like I'm talking, I have to almost go in twice with my eye makeup remover when I wear this because it does not want to come off. If that's what you're looking for, these are great. Now I'm going to go into the highlighter with my finger and press that on top of that base. I cannot stress enough how smooth and soft these highlighters are. I feel like I'm well aware that it's more blended up here than it is on the other eye, but I'm going to wait till I get mascara on to see if I need to change it. So we're going to go back to the face. This is not Drugstore. I did get some powders in that PR package, but I just really can't get away from my Hourglass for under my eyes. So I'm going to set that real quick, and then we'll come back and use a new powder from CoverGirl. So the CoverGirl True Blend Minerals Loose Mineral Powder. I feel like this is new. I feel like. This is in the color Translucent. They also sent me Banana. I don't feel like banana powders really look good on me, so that's why I didn't want to use that one today, but I have used the Translucent before. So it comes in packaging like this. You open it. I only uncovered about 3 or 4 of the holes from the actual sticker because I did not want it to make a complete mess. There is a tint to this, even though it does say Translucent. I don't know if they come in any other colors. This just says 50 Translucent. So I'm going to put a little bit of that on my Real Techniques powder brush and lightly. And when I say lightly, I mean lightly, because this foundation really doesn't need to be set much. Even on top of like, I mean, I've worn it on top of an illuminating primer, even mixed with that hydrating primer. I just don't think it needs to be set that much. So I only used about 1/3 of what I actually tapped out. But if you can tell, it did kind of add a little bit of a yellow tint to my face. But once I bronze and stuff, I don't find that that's that big of a deal. I have a couple of bronzers from the Drugstore. I think I'm going to try this one. This is the, do they even have this anymore? Catrice Sun Lover Glow Bronzing Powder. So this is what it looks like. And this is the color 10 Sun-Kissed Bronze. So you can get this at Ulta. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna try that. It's been a long time since I used this bronzer. So if it looks awful, whoops. I mean, what else am I gonna do? But say whoops. I mean, it does specifically state that this is a glowy bronzer. And it is. So if you are somebody who only likes matte bronzers, you're gonna wanna stay away from this one. I don't think that's a total fail. I think it's actually kind of pretty. Now let's jump into another one of these pretty Supercenter Hyper Glow powders, and this is in the color Pearl Crush. This is the one that I'm going to use as my actual highlight, and I've used it before, and as you can see, it's very pretty. And what I like about it is that there's no visible, like really visible particles, so it doesn't accentuate anything because of the extra texture that it actually has in the product that I don't want to be accentuated, which I think is huge. I'm going to show you the other color real quick. This is the color Gilded Glory. So it's a really pretty gold color, which would also be gorgeous as an eyeshadow. That one will probably work for me too, but I really like that pearl. Now let me put some blush on before I buff all this out to get rid of some of the harsh lines. This is the Essence blush in Satin Touch blush in Satin Love. Again, don't know if they still make these, but if they do, they are gorgeous. I think they only have a couple of colors. I only have this one, so I guess I should say this is gorgeous since I can't speak for the other one, but I do know they have really good reviews. And I think they're like $4. I mean, nothing from Essence is overly expensive by any means. Now I'm going to buff. I do not have a buffing powder from the drugstore. Now, I will say that NYX has a powder. I will try, if they still make it, I will try to put a picture or at least put the name of it down on the screen. That is doable, very doable for buffing. I believe it's technically like a setting powder or a finishing powder, but anytime it says finishing powder, I feel like it really looks good to buff. And I have used that in the past. I just don't have it right now, but that is an option from the drugstore. Now, because this is a little bit more matte, I'm definitely going to spritz my face. Again, I don't have anything from the drugstore, but I'm going to use the Lila Bee Aglow Face Mist. All the things like that I don't have from the drugstore are not necessary for this look. But this is going to put a really nice glow back into the skin. Let's go back into the palette, and I'm going to go into this really pretty peach color that I used in the crease. Then I'm going to buff that out under the eye. I'm going to buff it low because I love this color, and this, I mean, it really does a lot for blue eyes. I'm going to go into the same highlight I used on my face and do that for the inner corner and brow bone. There's not really a highlight shade in that True Blend palette, but I often do this. A lot of times, even when there is a highlight shade in a palette, I will still go in with the highlight I used on my face, just so everything is nice and cohesive. Before I do my lashes, they also sent over a few of the Easy Breezy Brow Gels. They do have a clear, a deep, a medium, and a light. So I'm going to use the light. And it does have some fibers in it, but that's the little spoolie brush right there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is my Hourglass palette. I would have died if that broke. And I'm just going to run it through my brows that nobody likes. I'm going to be on that for a while. Sorry, not sorry. Just to make sure that they stay put throughout the day. Now, I'm going to do my lashes off camera as I typically do. I do not currently have a drugstore mascara because I tend to use one at a time. However, there is no secret how much I adore the CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara. That stuff is amazing. I will link it down below as well. It's so good. If you have not tried it, please do. Lashes are done, and I'm going to do lips. I really don't know what I'm going to do for lips. I searched my drawer and tried to find what I had from the drugstore, which, if I'm going to be honest, is not a ton. I really do need to broaden up my horizons a little bit with the drugstore lip products because I know there's a ton of good ones. I have this Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink lipstick, and this is in the color Poet. It's like right up my alley, but I feel like if I wear that, people are going to say, get over the new lips. Stop wearing the new lips. Even though I love the new lips. And my lips are still healing. Like, you can probably still see a little spot because of the breakout that I had. This is the Katy Kat Gloss. They sent me all of these months ago. I don't know what color this is, but it's really pretty. Like, really pretty. It's a great topper. Oh, here it is. Cantaloupe. Number KP27. It's got a little bit of, like, reflect in it. You can see when that light hits it. Oh, so pretty. And then we've got the regular Color Riche Shine lipsticks from L'Oreal. I do have like 4 of these. And I do use them a lot, but I think I'm just going to use this. This is in the color Sparkling Rose. Sparkling Peach is my favorite because it's the most nude. But this one is also very pretty. I love these. These are pocket lipsticks to me, which are some of my favorite lipsticks because I can truly and have truly kept them in my pocket when I'm out and about, and I can put them on without a mirror. I don't have to worry about them like bleeding or not looking right. They have almost like a built-in gloss in them, so I don't have to carry a separate gloss because I am a gloss person. Like, I like for my lips to be glossy. How many times can I say gloss? So it's just perfect. I really do love these. I have not tried the new plumping ones because I didn't feel like the colors really spoke to me. But if you have tried them, let me know what you feel about them or know how you feel about them. I will say I can physically feel how like tight these brows are, which is not a bad thing. And I'm going to take a little bit of this because this is when I like look back and say, okay, what do I need to fix? I'm taking a little bit of that bronzer and getting it up into my hairline a little bit right here. I just felt like there was a white line there. There you go. All right, this is the finished look. And whoever says you can't look good using drugstore products is not using the right drugstore products. I actually really like all of the products that I used today. Like, really like them. I don't have a negative thing to say about them. I really like how this look turned out. So what I would like to know from y'all, because, I mean, truth be told, I'm not a huge drugstore person. It's not obviously because I don't think they make quality products. I just am not. So if you have a favorite drugstore product, be sure and put it down in the comment section below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future content. And I hope you'll all go out and have a very blessed day.